That's basically every one of our shows. Last night I felt bad. Wait, what were you going to say?
I'm going to say it's nice to start off a show like this with a laugh because that's the only one we're going to get this episode probably.
Actually, you know what? We got one more laugh in store for everybody. So,
true. That's right.
So we're always okay with people making fun of us if it comes from a good-hearted place. So, Sede Picante made a little clip of our Taylor Marshall interview, and it hurt. Like, it hurt.
Not me.
Oh, it hurt
you. I'm fine with it.
Dude, my ego is just crushed because I went back and because I cut the clips up for that interview. Yeah. And when I went back and watched that part, I was like, oh, he really shot me down there. You guys will see what I'm talking about. But Sede Picante really, really took the screwdriver and dug it in on me. Let's play it for everybody real quick. I think the Scott Hahns, the Stephen Rays, all those guys, I think if you guys hadn't converted through your study of the fathers and all that stuff, I don't think you would have a fervent Catholicism that we have right now. I'm telling you. So
I think that's too much credit. I mean,
that smile is so fake right there.
Why did I invite him on my show? And they're raising Italian and you wants to. So at the end of that opera, the apparently the guy goes and shoots everybody in the audience or something. Can't do that little crap. I'll kill that kid. He's the worst. He really he likes to goop on us. He makes fun of my Italian Goomba attitude sometimes. So yeah, I'm not going to recommend this channel, but if you guys want to see somebody making fun of us, he tends to do it. And you can see the exact moment his heart breaks.
You see who posted that?
Oh, it's terrible.
No, do you see who posted that?
Yeah, Todd. I know.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
Thanks, Todd. Oh man. So we were going to just do Matthew Plays tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this for around 45 minutes. And then after this stream, we're going to have Matthew Plays on because
on a completely separate stream. So just so everyone's aware of that.
It's not going to be on this stream. You guys will have to actually exit out and go to the new one. St. Martin's Lent starts November 12th. Sunday. And I am taking St. Martin's Lent seriously this year. I actually just had about an hour and a half conversation or an hour conversation with somebody who watches the show. I'm not going to say their name or anything, but they heard my story with Nicole about when I converted him and Nicole wasn't in the same place as me and how my marriage got a little rough during that time. And he had emailed us and asked if he could talk to me. He sent his phone number. So I called him today and I talked to him for like an hour on the way home today. And he's going to do St. Martin's Lent with us too. I basically think my fasting during Lent when this rough period of my marriage happened is what saved my marriage. So if anybody's going through something difficult in their life, if you have something very specific you want to fast for, stick around for that show. St. Martin's Lent, something I've never done before. Matthew Plays is an expert on the topic. So if you guys want to learn something actually edifying, stick around for that show.
And judging from the news we're about to share, I think we all need to fast and do penance for the church too.
Church. I mean, this is pretty insane. This latest Dubia. So DDF responds to transgender Dubia.
No, let me pull it up.
Yeah. This is just so crazy. I cannot believe we're at a point where you'll never get a yes or no response to a Dubia, which is what you're supposed to get.
Should be yes or no.
Yes or no. Like I remember hearing stories about like there was back in the Middle Ages, a Dubia was sent to the popes asking, can we baptize with beer if no water is available? And they got back a resounding no. Just no.
Yeah, it used to be affirmative, like or affirmative or not, basically, yes or no.
So we're beyond the days of getting. Thank you, JD. Just found you on YouTube and Twitter. Amazing. Oh, thank you, brother.
Yeah. You might want to hold on the amazing part until you see more of his Twitter. Just going to throw that out there.
You may be a little disappointed, homie.
Ipa Rose is right. We got pretty clear yes and no's when it was about TC.
That's true. That's true.
Can a new seminarian learn the Latin Mass? No.
We also didn't have Tuco in there.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Who Mark Robertson says looks like Hannibal Lecter. Kind of does have a Hannibal Lecter.
Really does. You can just imagine that noise, right?
Oh man, I haven't seen that movie in a while, but I know exactly the scene you're talking about. A Chianti. All right. So the Vatican's Doctrine Office has responded to a bishop's questions concerning the role of people who identify as LGBT at Catholic baptisms and weddings. So let's see. Let's skip through and let's just see. Okay. So the Doctrinal Office said it had issued its responses after study and was essentially restating positions it had previously expressed, including a 2018 confidential note addressing some canonical questions inherent to. I'm not even going to say that word.
Yeah.
All right, so the DDF summarizes the bishop's questions as below. Can a transgender person be baptized? That's question 1. Question 2, can a transgender person be a godfather or godmother? Can a transgender person be a witness at a wedding? Can two same-sex persons be counted as parents of a child who must be baptized and who was adopted or gained by other methods such as surrogacy? Can a person who is same-sex attracted in a same-sex relationship and cohabitating be godfather to a baptized person? Can a same-sex person and cohabitating person be a witness at a wedding? All right. So the longest of the responses to the first question, the DDF said,
"Can they be baptized?"
Okay. So can a transgender person be baptized? DDF said that a transgender person who has undergone surgery can receive the sacrament of baptism under the same conditions as other believers, if there are no situations in which there is a risk of generating public scandal or disorientation among the faithful. So let's just stop with that.
That would have been a sufficient answer. It could have stopped right there for that question, right?
I almost don't even think there's a scenario possible where a trans person that has no intention of detransitioning or has no regret about their, you know what I mean? There's a very different situation.
Well, yeah, but I think the question there, like, if they've undergone surgery, like there may be no going back, right? So I think when it says under the same conditions as other believers, that's the whole, they need to be, they need to repent of their sin.
They need to have repented of their situation. Okay, so the document added a detailed series of considerations intended to address cases where there are doubts about the objective moral situation in which a person finds himself or about his subjective dispositions towards grace. Let's break that down. Hang on. The document added a detailed series of considerations intended to address cases where there are doubts about the objective moral situation a person finds himself or about his subjective dispositions towards grace. What do you think that even means? Like, if there's doubts,
how can there be doubts about an objective moral situation?
Like, I'm trying not to just hammer on this, but it added that children or adolescents with problems of transgender nature could also receive baptism if they are well prepared and willing to be baptized. Adolescents with problems of a transgender nature. Do you see how wishy-washy the wording is? This is crazy because what they're doing
like, does that mean an adolescent literally going through hormones and surgeries right now? Because then they're not well prepared, and you know what I mean?
Or is it a person who suffers from gender confusion but is seeking out a life of grace to overcome this issue?
Right. Those are two opposite situations that can be described by this one single sentence.
Now, here's the issue. Here's what's going on. And this is the same thing with the Dubia that we got last time. All of this is worded in such a way that a sane priest is going to say, okay, no, unless the conditions we're talking about, where, okay, you made this mistake, you repented. Okay, yeah, we can. But it's also going to be used by the James Martin crowd to justify and say this is a pastoral approach. And just like they gave permission for, I mean, they're doing the same thing with, it's basically don't ask, don't tell. You're not going to suffer repercussions if you could say it's for a pastoral reason, right? That's where we're going.
It's a free for all. It creates a free for all.
What they have done is introduced situational ethics into the church,
which they literally just warned us about last week.
Situational ethics is such a dangerous thing to play around with. So when kids go to college and go to philosophy 101, they hit them with situational ethics. They'll hit them with questions like, okay, you have a train going down a track that's about to split. If you don't touch the handle, it's going to hit a group of 10 people. Or you could pull the handle and it'll go another way and it'll hit one person.
Mm-hmm.
What do? Do you pull the handle? Now that means you actively pulled the handle and chose to kill someone, which the ends don't justify the means, right? Like,
right.
So it's a situation where it's like, well, this is a moral conundrum. Like, do you let 10 people die, or do you only want one person to die? So this is what they do. They start messing with people in there, and it undermines people's faith. My older brother went to college, took philosophy 101, came home from college, and has not been back to mass since. And they're introducing this is the DDF. This is the former CDF, the former Holy Office, the former Inquisition.
The Inquisition.
This is the former Inquisition who would burn people at the stake for heresy. And they're just, oh man, this is crazy. Okay.
So one question we're getting, let me see here. So someone wants to know, are we talking about trans persons who have never been baptized, or trans persons who were baptized before transition and want to be rebaptized?
Wow.
It does not clarify it here, but I'm going to assume they're talking about someone who has never been baptized.
Why would you say that though? You're assuming the best motives, but you have to realize how serious of a thing that is, right? Because we believe in one baptism for the forgiveness of sins. But
yeah, we start rebaptizing people. We're Mormons.
These people actually think the old person has done. It's almost like a new person is born and this new person needs to be baptized. That's why they call it dead naming.
Yeah.
Right? You dead named that person. This is insane, man. This is just so insane. Oh my God.
But I think for the purposes of going through this article, we should assume it's never been baptized before.
Should we handle this where, okay, because we know how Lofton's going to handle this, right?
Yeah.
Because we're trying not to just I'm trying not to just go the negative route, right? I mean, everything they send out can be slipped through the cracks of a hermeneutic but it doesn't matter, because every news article that you see posted so far has been church allows for transgender persons to be baptized. Nobody reads the article. All they read is the headline.
And there will be nothing from the church that to refute
nothing.
It, right?
So the damage is done in the headline alone. So, Okay, responding to the second question, the DDF said the transgender adults.
So the second question. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, the second question.
Yeah, the second question is: can a transgender person be a godfather or a godmother at baptism?
Okay, so now the transgender adults who had undergone surgery could serve as godfathers or godmothers under certain conditions. However, since this task does not constitute a right, pastoral prudence demands that it not be permitted if there is a risk of scandal. There's always going to be the risk of scandal, undue legitimation, or disorientation in the educational sphere of the ecclesial community. So, okay, wait a minute now. If you have one of these ministries, where we'll just call it a James Martin ministry, right? Or New Ways ministry. Now, if you have a parish like St. Paul's in New York, where they had those two men come up with their baby and give that basically gave the homily about how Jesus has two dads.
Mm-hmm.
In that community, you're not going to cause scandal in that ecclesial community. It has nothing to do with the wider church, just that particular parish.
Well, I think what they're saying though is that it wouldn't cause scandal or but it would cause it would unduly almost legitimize it, right? Or when they say disorientation in the educational sphere, I don't know why they don't just talk like Catholics and say it would cause confusion with
why not just say no? This is a major crisis that people are in right now. Like, we need the church to speak clearly on this issue more than anything else right now. The Daily Wire does more to combat this problem than the Catholic Church. This is such insanity. This talk about causing scandal. This document causes scandal.
Especially because like the answer to number 2 is honestly pretty simple. Can a transgender person be a godfather or godmother? When they say under certain conditions, it's like, well, yeah, of course, under certain conditions. Like
what?
Yeah, it will. For instance, if they regret it, if they've repented, right, and they may have undergone the surgery.
Why not say that?
Well, exactly. Well, I'm just saying there's almost no reason to answer the question because all of the traditional Catholic teaching already apply and already give us these answers.
Well, no, there's a reason to answer it. There's a dubia, but why not just say the only scenario where this is not going to cause scandal is if the person has repented of their sin? Because to mutilate the human body through surgery like that is a sin. Now, you can be forgiven for it, but you have to repent and go to confession and receive absolution for it. So I don't understand why they can't just be clear about it. Like, this document itself causes the scandal they're saying we should avoid.
Aurora here has a good point. Like the wording of this and the wording of the dubia itself, I think I don't know much about the Brazilian bishop that wrote it, but like, why would I would imagine a faithful bishop would use terms more like gender dysphoria, because to me, if you're claiming you're transgender, it doesn't matter if you think you've repented of your sins. Like that itself is in it itself like a sin and shows that you can't.
I think the dubia questions were
set
up. Yeah, I don't even think this is just some bishop really seeking clarification. I think
it's not like Mueller and Syrah and it's someone wanting it. Yeah.
No, this is okay. We're gonna submit this question and then we're gonna come. Listen, this is why the synod is almost irrelevant, right? It's like the previous dubia answers and this dubia are giving you every single issue they didn't want to address in the synod. The bad press of the rainbow stuff in the synod. So they did it before the synod. And now the first session is over. And you got this one released on October 31st, right at the end of the synod.
Well, it was answered on the 31st. It wasn't released until today. But yeah, I mean, I think it shows that either they had this ready in case the synod like didn't get it from what they want, or they're using the synod, when they say like, when someone asks them, how can you answer like this? They'll point to the synod and say, well, this is what people wanted.
Yeah. Dude, this is nuts.
It is. And we're not even to some of the worst ones yet.
Oh, man. For its part, canon law establishes that a baptismal sponsor or godparent should be a Catholic who is confirmed, who leads a life of faith in keeping with the function to be taken on. So who leads a life of faith. What does that even mean anymore?
Well, it doesn't mean anything to them.
Mean anymore, because it doesn't mean anything, because all are welcome. All are welcome. What does it mean to live a life of faith anymore? On the third question, the Vatican's Doctrine Office said there is no prohibition in canon law on transgender person acting as a witness at a Catholic wedding. Turning to the fourth question, the DDF emphasized
the fourth question is, can two SSA persons be counted as parents of a child who must be baptized, and who was adopted or gained by other methods. Really, who is adopted or gained by, things that are inherently sinful.
Okay, so now a married same-sex couple, why are they baptizing their kid?
Right.
How is there any possibility of that couple
wanting to raise their child
child faithfully in the Catholic Church,
which is a requirement, which is why, right? For instance, Steve Skojec was turned away.
This is why you can't baptize say you have a sibling who has a kid, and your sibling is Protestant, or your sibling is an atheist. You can't baptize his kid without telling him, because what'll happen is that kid
not without telling them, without that explicit permission.
Without permission and without them consenting to raise the child Catholic, because that child will immediately apostatize because it will not be raised in the faith.
The only scenario in which it's okay if there's an immediate danger of death.
So if you're talking about two men who have a child and they go to the church and they want to baptize their kid, you're guaranteeing that child will be raised in a deformed version of the faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not doing that child any favor. If anything, you're making it
more likely to be an apostate.
Yeah. One who was given the grace at baptism.
This is so dangerous. How does this not constitute
heresy?
Erring in faith and morals. How does this not constitute erring in faith and morals?
Because it's not ex cathedra, of course.
Okay, is that the only criteria?
Yeah, actually. I mean, the setting.
Can't trust the church with the Pope signing his name on a document, man. I don't know. This is nuts.
That's another thing, that these are coming through the DDF. So
with the Pope's signature on
it. Did he actually sign it?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he did. So listen, I'm just saying, the scandal these things are causing, having Fernandez as the DDF. I mean, look, they submitted a dubia before he was the DDF, the prefect for the DDF, and it was, can we bless same-sex unions? And it was a resounding no. The church cannot bless sin.
Mm-hmm.
That was a clear answer. That is what you should get, not this. We don't have much time left, is what I'm taking from this. Just hang. Oh, absolutely. Listen to me. What we're looking at is, so. All right, Rob, bring up that tweet that guy wrote, because we have to address that, because I don't want people like I'm going to say why I'm staying in the faith despite this nonsense. So I think I'm leaving the church.
I can't make it any bigger. Crap.
Yeah. So I think I'm leaving the church. Catholic school, current Catholic. I can't continue to call myself a Catholic. There's just way too much polluting this church, and I can't in good conscience continue here. On top of this, Catholic NGOs flooding migrants everywhere. I just can't go with the flow anymore. It's morally wrong for me to perpetuate to help fund this church. So the disclosed TV headline is, transgender people can now be baptized Catholic. Serve as godparents, Vatican says. So it doesn't matter what wording is in this thing to skirt the lines of orthodoxy. Well, let's just weasel around this one here. We'll weasel around this one here. That's the headline. It goes out worldwide. There will be zero correction on this, and this will be how it goes going forward. What is the point of the church if it does not do anything to, I mean, really at this point, we're staying because where else do we go, Lord? We know you have the words of eternal life. We have the sacraments. But from an Eastern Orthodox perspective, someone like Jonathan Peugeot, who said, we think Catholics are heretical. We think, he just wrote that yesterday and everybody got all upset. This is one of those things where they're going, guys, this is what we were talking about with papal infallibility.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just causes so much scandal, right? To me, there's a couple of things going on here where it's God is allowing this. God knows what's happening. He's allowing it. So it's not something where I think anybody should just jump ship with this Pope here. Like, wait this out. Give the church a couple of years to sort this out, and let's see how this plays out. Whatever is happening.
I mean, we might find out he really was an anti-pope.
That's what I mean.
That would explain so much.
Explain a whole lot. Right. And it just seems like that's where things are heading. I mean, we have no authority to make that declaration, but it seems like how can that not be the case? It just looks more and more likely every day. It seems like there is just an intentional attempt to subvert the faith.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, like, everybody who said Strickland was out of line for saying, I oppose Francis's program to undermine the faith. This is Francis's program to undermine the faith.
Yeah.
Between the synod and this.
You know what's going to really suck, or could really suck? If the sedes are right. We might have to say, like, you guys were right. And
I don't even necessarily say they're so, like, I don't hold the 58 sede position.
It makes less sense than this mess to me right now, anyways.
I mean, you could get away with just saying Francis is an anti-pope. I mean, I've never said anything like that before. That's what's crazy. Thank you, Aurora. It just seems like this is just insane to me.
It does, yeah.
And I don't want to be said that I'm causing. I don't know, man. This is just nuts. Like, please accept.
No, Paul. I forget if Peter Diamond is. I forget if he. I think his real name is Robert Diamond. He will not be on the show. Don't worry about that.
No, I would bring the guy from Nova Zorda Watch on just to have a conversation one time, possibly. Though I like him. Let's go through this whole thing. Sorry, guys, getting texts here. Okay, so the answer did not specifically address.
No, hold on. Let me bring it back up.
Turning to the fourth question. The fourth question was, can they be witnesses at weddings?
No, the fourth was, can same-sex parents
baptize a baby?
Baptize their, yeah.
The answer did not specifically address the questions which seem to be asked, namely, whether both persons in a same-sex union should be regarded as parents. Yeah.
Yeah,
one of them could be the father.
They physically cannot be.
Yeah, one of them could be the father. When assessing the requisite permissions for the baptism of an infant and when recording the baptism in parish registers, both questions frequently discussed among canon lawyers. Regarding the fifth question, what is that?
Can a person who is SSA and cohabiting, in other words, be living in active sin, be a godfather to a baptized person?
The dicastery noted that canon law requires baptismal sponsors or godparents to possess an aptitude for the role and lead a life of faith in keeping with the function to be taken on. So that should just be no.
Right. Yes.
It added that when the cohabitation of two same-sex persons consists not in simple cohabitation, but in a stable and declared sexual union similar to common law marriage relationship, well known to the community, the situation would be different, seemingly not an indication of a life in keeping with the function to be taken on.
So it's leaving it's like a completely subjective judgment then. Like we said, the sane priests are gonna, of course, do the right thing, but it leaves just enough room.
So wait, let's reread that. When the cohabitation of two same-sex persons consists of a stable union, I don't want to read the first part. I want to go. So when it consists,
I would just say when it's like a common law marriage.
Yeah, when in a common law marriage relationship, well known to the community, the situation would be different. Why would it be different?
What they're saying is, they're more or less saying, if it's just two gay guys living together, no big deal. But if it's two gay guys who pretend to be married and have, then maybe not then. Maybe not then. Maybe that's different. That's what it's saying.
So wait, it's okay when they're just cohabitating, but it's not if they're in a stable relationship?
It seems to suggest that.
This is so nuts. Dude, what is going on?
This is ironic, Stephen.
What is going on?
I don't know, man.
Dude, what is going on? Come on, man. Like, stop it. I know freaking Lofton and these guys and the Metatomist and the classical theists and all these guys are going to just tell me I'm crazy for being upset about it. You guys are trashing Pope Francis and turning people away from the faith. No, Pope Francis is turning people away from the faith. This man is the most scandalous thing to ever happen to the Catholic Church.
Give me a Borgia any day.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but you like the Borgia because you're. I was gonna say you just like him because you got like that. I was gonna like
because the Showtime show.
well, that, but because you're Italian. That's just kind of the way Italians are. But he's Spanish.
Didn't he give us the Angelus?
I doubt it. I don't think so.
I think he gave us the Angelus.
Of course, you're going to say that.
I'm giving him credit. I like that.
Man. Do you want to hear a story about the Angelus?
Yeah.
So we pray the Angelus. I prayed when I wake up in the morning at 6, but then we prayed together. I prayed at work, but at night we prayed together at 6 o'clock. Well, I guess Maddie, who's my 4-year-old, today at 9 a.m., he just went up to Hope, my wife, and said, "Mama, can you pray the Angelus? I just want to hear it."
Really?
Yeah.
They're so cute when they're little.
Yeah, they are.
My kids are gonna pull their teeth to get a rosary in. Like,
Sean, he did not give us the Angelus.
He gave us the Angelus, Sean. Shut up. I'm sticking to that story. Here's what I'm gonna tell you guys. This is insane. This is completely insane. And I think like we're going to do things like this when they pop up, but I think we just have to stick to comedy to keep seeing. Like
I'd rather watch people almost break their necks falling off of a roof. I guess.
Like we need to laugh at women crashing cars.
Unless it's your own car, then I get it.
Yeah, it's not funny when your wife crashes into your garage. That's not fun. It's not fun at all. Sorry, bad memories just popped in. Okay, so oh man. In any case, due pastoral prudence requires that each situation be wisely considered to safeguard the sacrament of baptism and above all its reception, which is a precious asset to be protected as it is necessary for salvation, it said. Oh, at least they admit that.
Right, but when you say that right after implying that cohabitation isn't that bad, what you're doing is giving priests permission to do whatever the heck they want.
They're almost saying everyone should be baptized regardless of any situation. It's necessary for salvation.
Which is ironic because we know they don't believe that.
I know. They actually brag about not baptizing.
Yeah.
I was the bishop in South America for 14 years and not a single person was baptized. Oh, good job, bud. Doing a bang up job down there. Jesus called me out of transgenderism. God created us male and female, not transgender. I say I say it all the time. It's when you lose your identity in God, you lose your identity completely to the point where you don't know your gender identity, right? Like the church is supposed to be the place these people go to find the truth and to find someone fighting on their behalf. Like everybody has a really hard time with Joseph Schomburg right now, right? Joseph Schomburg left and went to Eastern Orthodoxy. Now, it hurts me the way he speaks about the Catholic Church. He goes on these rants, and it really is. It's like, Joseph, stop it. Just get offline for the sake of your own soul. It's just, there's no way Orthodoxy brought you peace. I've never seen you more at more of an unease in your soul, just by the way you talk. But at the same time, it's for a man like him who was struggling with same-sex attraction, was a male prostitute, comes to the church to try to find somewhere to actually give actual pastoral help and guidance. He can't find it. When you look at the synod and they bring in New Ways Ministry and they bring in James Martin, but they don't bring in the Courage group. Yeah. Courage was the only outfit actually telling people that with same-sex attraction, like, you guys need to live chastely. It's the only way to be fulfilled in Jesus Christ. It's just, guys, we're struggling with this as much as you are. Do not listen to us for advice. I'm just trying to vent some of my frustrations and vent some of my heartache. And, you know, I'm not trying to drive anybody away from anything. It's just really, what is a transgender baptism? That's what we're trying to figure out, Mikey. We're actually trying to figure that out. We don't know if that means, yeah, that's the other thing, right? The hardline Prots are going to have a field day with this.
It's a good thing they say that the Protestants don't need to convert, because they wouldn't have a chance in hell of converting them after something like this.
No way. We're worse than, I mean, this is like Anglican stuff. This is non-binary trans bishop stuff.
I wouldn't say it's worse than the Anglicans, because they literally have bishops like that.
Yeah, I know, but
no, I mean, can you really blame Calvin Robinson for not coming all the way into the church?
Right? That's what I mean, right? But let me tell you something. I see a lot of people. Father Martin was ordained by the same place as him, so I find it strange that some people will be rah Calvin Robinson and then give Father Martin a hard time, right? There's a weird thing that goes on with Calvin Robinson where everybody, just because he's got a little fame and he's based, that everybody kind of makes exceptions for him.
I'm more willing to accept what he did.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just pointing something out. That's all. But
yeah,
I just don't, it's the old Catholic Church. I think that's what Father Martin did, not Father James Martin, different Father Martin, for anybody that doesn't know. All right, so it continued. At the same time, it is necessary to consider the real value the church community places on the duties of godparents and godmothers, the role they play in the community, and the consideration they show towards church teaching. At the same time, guys, it's necessary to consider the real value of this. That's all we're saying. Nothing clear. Nothing clear. Finally, the possibility that there may be another person from the family circle to act as guarantor of the proper transmission of the Catholic faith to the baptizing. This is the wiggle room for Michael Lofton.
That whole paragraph is not true. It's just that has never been a consideration. You have the parents, you have the godparents. Both have to promise to raise the child as Catholic. There is no other consideration for other family members.
Maybe there's like a sibling in that family that will co-sign.
Well, can that sibling that might co-sign, can they suddenly bless the child like a parent or godparent can? No, because that's not how God works.
And they're not the godparent.
Right, exactly. They do not have authority.
Godparent. That's the whole point of a godparent.
Mm-hmm.
The possibility that there may be another person from the family circle to act as a guarantor of the proper transmission of it's just addressing the sixth and final question, which was what?
Can an SSA person who cohabitates be a witness at a wedding? Of course, the answer to that is yes. I don't think that's ever been a problem.
Yeah, I don't think that is a problem. You're just
saying literally just witnessing it. Yeah.
So there is nothing in current universal canonical legislation that prohibits a cohabitating homoaffective. But what is homoaffective? I never even heard that. The church is making up words. Persons from being a witness to a marriage. So Fernandez, who was named the Vatican's doctrinal chief in July and took up the post in September, has promised to bring a distinctive approach to the role.
It's been distinctively gay, that's for sure.
Dude. Church of Gay. I hope and pray St. Michael Lofton as Jake can explain this to me. I'm going to watch his breakdown of it. You better believe I am. I made you a breakdown of the Michael Lofton breakdown. We've never done it.
No, please. I am not going to watch him.
I think no. I want to see this one.
I don't.
We might have to do the Michael Lofton breakdown of the Michael Lofton breakdown.
Can we turn it into a drinking? No. I don't want to die.
That would be uncharitable. I just honestly, my favorite thing about him is when he says them. He goes, them.
Them.
Them. Dude, what is going on in the church? God, please, God. So here's the other thing, though. Okay. We have to honestly look at okay, so I listened to a Matt Walsh talk. I don't know if it was a new talk or an old talk. He gave a talk at St. Mary Church. I don't know if it was recent or whatever, but he talks about persecution and persecution in the Middle East, like those Christians, how they actually suffer persecution, and people like us, it's his natural Louisiana Ukrainian accent coming out. He's 46 and still talks like a white kid.
Oh, can you imagine if we had Father Isaac on right now? Can you imagine what he would be saying?
I would honestly, we should get him on and go over this. We should go over this with him.
Are we sure we're not putting him in a near occasion of sin?
Yeah, that's true. That man. That man. They spring. I don't even want to say what he would say. So, yeah. So this is my Matt Walsh talk.
Oh, come on! Don't do that to me.
I'm down. I'm down. We'll do the Michael Lofton breakdown of the breakdown. We're doing it, dude. We've never done one before. I'm gonna get it because he's gonna do it tomorrow. He's going to do it tomorrow, so we're going to do this. He does it to everybody.
Yeah.
He does it to everyone. I don't even feel bad about doing it. We're going to go through his nuance and we're going to go through his nonsense because he's going to try and play off all these things as if they're nothing. And we're going to pause it like he does.
I swear, if I hear just read the actual documents one more freaking time, I'm going to lose it on someone. What do you think we just did? Those weren't made up words. They were words from the document from the Vatican.
Oh, this person's being serious. I thought
they're being serious. No, they actually like Michael.
Yeah, dude, you want to live in a fantasy world? Go ahead. I don't care anymore. Like, if you people want to pretend, like, make pretend. I don't care. Do you do that when a man's in a dress? Do you pretend that he's a woman? I'm sure he did. I'm gonna record it. We're gonna do the
48 minutes ago.
48 minutes ago, and I'm sure. Oh, these trads, and they need to repent. They need to repent for their slander of Pope Francis.
Apparently, I'm wearing the same shirt as Tim.
I'm just, why is he broadcasting to? Are we up against both of them right now?
I thought you were going to ask Tim to come on.
I totally forgot. I was going to ask Tim to come on with us tonight.
That would have been awkward if him and I were wearing the same thing. That would have been a little homo effective.
Have fun with the Lofton thing. I'll say, dude, I'm excited for Kale Zeldin, man. And Don has been waiting for this for a long time because Don likes Kale better than us.
I have to go get a jean jacket to wear that night.
Right? I'm rocking jeans that night for sure. We're gonna start the denim wars when Kale comes on. So all right. So back to the persecution talk of Matt Walsh, right?
Yep.
He's like, Satan hates the martyrs in the East, but for people like us, we all think we're willing to suffer martyrdom. We all think that. We're not willing to give up Twitter. We're not willing to.
I had to today.
Yeah, Rob got suspended, but that's the point, right? We're not willing to give much of anything up. Like, we're really weaklings. So right now we're not suffering persecution because of Francis, and I think people really need to understand that. Because Francis is playing this game with the world, the media is laying off the Catholics. Everybody's laying off the Catholics right now. We got a heretic president in office, and he's pushing the Ohio law through, things like that. Those are the things they're talking about. So when you're dealing with that as the face of Catholicism, you're not going to face persecution. But I hope everybody's ready, because as soon as this pontificate is over, it's going to get hairy, because I can't imagine we get a Francis II. I honestly don't think we're getting a Francis II.
No, yeah. I
don't care how much he thinks he rigged it. I don't care how many lay persons he allows to vote. We're not getting a Francis II. This pontificate is the end of this. There's no way this continues. I think a majority of the bishops and cardinals are done with this. This stuff is just so out of hand.
If anything, just because they're sick of the headache of having to try to read these documents.
It's just
they're impossible to read.
It's just so, I don't know, man. This one hurt. Like, this one hurt to read. It really did. Like, we weren't even going to come on tonight, except for the match plays thing that we're doing. Yeah. We were going to just do that, and When I read this, I was like, Rob, set a second stream up. We're going on at 8.
When you sent me the article, and that was before you even said we were to do a show on it, I'm like, we're doing a show on this.
Well, the thing is, usually you push back and go, seriously, I don't want to. But even you were like, no, this is.
It's not the Synod stuff. I mean,
yeah.
and we should have seen this coming after the Dubia a month ago, right? I mean, this is for everyone who claimed that the Dubia a month ago didn't say what it said. Do you maybe now see that it actually did? I mean, come on.
I can't wait to listen to the Lofton breakdown.
You are
I
sick.
can't wait.
You are a masochist.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. This is gonna be no, because sometimes I throw things at my iPad. When I live
is that why you had to buy a new one?
I've got a broken iPad upstairs to prove it to you guys. All right. No, that's not how it Sometimes it's so frustrating. I'm like, I want to throw something at it. It's like, okay, so you ignore everything you just read and just find the one sentence in there that you could try to pull to swing the whole thing around to be orthodox. Come on. This guy, seriously, where is it? Where did he get? It's not that crazy. Just read the document. Read the actual document. Are you insane, man?
And like I get why people bury their head in the sand, right? Like I get it. You don't want to think it's as bad as it is.
So I think Francis is the last pope of this era. I do not think he's the last pope. I think we're going to get a holy pope, and I think we're going to see the resurrection.
You think he's the last pope of the conciliar church?
I do. I think he's the last pope of the conciliar church. I think the conciliar church project is coming to an end. Yeah. I don't know what comes after that. There may be a very long period of tumult and tribulation.
And then we'll modern schism.
And then I think we're going to see a glorious resurrection. I don't think we're at the end of the world. No, I think we're going to see a glorious resurrection.
Unless suddenly a supposed Messiah actually does come out of Israel, then we're screwed, guys, and that's the Antichrist.
What makes me think that
do you hold to blessed what's his name? Blessed Holzhauer's 7 epochs of the church?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard it in a very long time, but I remember when I did, I thought that was
it's the whole it can, I don't know if it specifically mentions a great monarch and holy pope, but it fits in with that, and then the resurrection of the church. Yeah. And then,
I mean, listen, just read the catechism. The catechism says the church will suffer and follow our Lord into his passion and death. And
right. But are you the resurrection, that resurrection is like, don't you think the catechism is talking about the end of time?
No.
You think beforehand?
I think you'll see a resurrection of an earthly church. I think
prior to like the Great Tribulation and such.
Yeah. I think that I think if you read the Benedict radio address, which my priest just read last Sunday, and in his homily, my priest read that in his homily where Benedict says, I think the church is going to lose a lot of its social status. It's not, but it will be rebuilt by saints. It will be a remnant. God preserves a remnant. I think you're going to see a remnant preserved and a church rebuilt. You will see a glorious resurrection. And that doesn't mean that the church triumphant coming down from heaven at the eschaton. Just my personal belief.
Yeah.
You know, it's just what I believe. I think you will see the reign of Mary, a period of Mary's reign.
What if the great French monarch we're supposed to get is actually a French Canadian named Kennedy Hall? He's supposedly Italian.
Wait a minute. All right. We really do have to get off in a minute because we have to do the Matthew Plays thing, but I have to send you something to play. Hang on.
Okay.
We do have to go, but hang on. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I got it. Hang on, I'm sending it to you. It's coming through. Right about Okay, so you asked, what if the great French monarch is a French Canadian monarch? Play that clip.
Oh gosh. Why is he shirtless?
Just play it.
Is there any swearing?
No.
Okay.
Imagine being from Canada. Imagine saying, I'm a man. From where? From Canada. What? We don't go together. We don't know. Wait, you're a man? From Canada? Can't be. No, I'm a man.
What a random clip. Wait, imagine saying you're a man from Canada. Come on, stop it. You're not a man from Canada.
Oh, Nancy was watching.
Huh?
I didn't see that Nancy was watching.
Oh, Nancy's in here? I didn't see.
You clicked on it.
I meant to. I didn't mean to. I did that on accident. I meant to click on. All right. Christendom has had a series of revolutions, and in each one of them, Christianity has died. Christianity has died many times and risen again, for it had a God who knew the way out of the grave. That's got to be a quote.
You don't think Don is capable of coming
That's not a Don original.
Ouch.
That might be a Don original. I'll give
Okay, I really do got to set up the local stream.
All right, so all right, guys, we're gonna pop off.
Let me grab that link for everyone real quick.
We're gonna pop off. We are going to continue the conversation in 10 minutes with Matthew Plays. We'll probably ask him a little bit about if he saw this, and then
I was going to say we're not going to continue. Okay, but we might for a little while.
Listen, I'm going to derail whatever conversation we had planned, regardless. That's just how it goes. It's a Chesterton quote. I knew it.
Why can't we ever just do something the way we?
Listen, you said it last night. I'm best when I freestyle. Don't worry about it. We're gonna.
That did not work super great
last night. Last night was a crash and burn. All right,
guys. On our part, not on John's part.
No, not on John's part.
John was awesome.
Right, subscribe. Please join our locals. Come on, support us. We want to get down and we want to bring you guys something unique, comedic, different. But we do need some financial help. So please join our locals. The next show will be on YouTube. It's free. So we will see you guys on YouTube in 7 minutes. Take us out, Rob.
Okay. What am I going to play? What am I going to play?